You guys, it's Jerica coming back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you an update of the master bedroom wall, and I'm also going to be showing you a update of the upstairs bathroom that we transformed from a shower tub combination to just a walk-in shower. I mentioned that I wanted to do these changes in my first video, which was the luxury townhouse tour, so I'm just going to come back and show you guys the finished results. And also I'm going to tell you how much we paid for the materials and also how much we paid for the labor, in case anybody was interested in having something like this done. But before we get started, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you like this video, or down if you don't, and then press that subscribe button for me. Let's start with the wall behind me, and I'm gonna upload the picture again on the screen that I got inspired from for this wall. So let me just go ahead and show you the wall. Y'all excuse my room, my bed. I'm sitting on my floor, so looking for inspiration for this wall. I was looking on Pinterest, I looked on YouTube, I even looked on like Google search, and I couldn't really find where they actually tell you the size of what it's called, the size of trim that they use. So I'm going to tell you guys the exact size that I used. I'm actually going to put it up on the video, and I'm also going to show you how much it costs, and I got it from Home Depot, and how much we had to get. Now these are basically, this right here, these are two separate pieces of trim. So we ended up buying about 23 to 30 pieces, because the guy that we used, I don't know if he was being lazy or he basically, I don't know. He said though it would look seamless, more seamless, if we just got, I guess, like the trim was actually, it was long. It was so long, longer than I can show you. It was long. So he was basically saying that if he had to cut the trim in half, or wherever he had to cut it, and piece them together, then it would make it not look as good, I guess, because you would see like a line right here. However, I don't know if he was just saying that because he didn't want to feel like cutting all these different pieces of wood to put together or not. So we ended up buying one piece of trim, long, it's a long piece of trim, one piece of long trim for each pieces of these, and this for each section. And it's actually 1, 2, it's 4, 8 per rectangle, so 8 per big rectangle. So we ended up buying this 24, and then also we had to buy, he didn't cut these pieces either, like he didn't use, I'm not sure if he used, you know, I don't know if he was able to use one piece for these two or not, but I think we definitely bought 24 to 30 pieces for this. So now this trim was actually $4.70, so we ended up getting, I'm gonna say 30, 407 times 30, so basically $122 for just the wood trim. So we also had to buy some caulk, and I'll put that on the screen too. I only bought one thing of caulk, and I got the cheapest one. It was only like $3 and something. So we ended up paying a total of $125 to get this wall done, just the materials. So just the materials was $125. If you can do this by yourself, which is pretty easy to do, we just felt like he would get it done quicker, and it will probably be a little more accurate and easier, since we didn't have anything to cut the wood with. We just paid somebody to do it. So let me just tell you exactly what basically he did. Basically, they measured out how far apart I wanted it, this way, everything. They measured it out, they drew it out, and then once they drew all the rectangles, excuse me, once they drew all the rectangles out, they ended up putting them on the wall, and then they nailed them with the nail gun. And once they nailed them with the nail gun, they just went over them with the caulk and kind of filled the holes. So after they filled the holes, they went around these edges, you know, the seam, the part that hits the wall. They went around that with the caulk, and I guess to make it, you know, seem so you wouldn't have any like open cracks, I guess, so it would be flush against the wall and nothing can get through. And then they painted it all. So it was a simple process. It was tedious though, having to measure everything and then trim it, but that's what that's how it went. So like I said, the material cost about $125, and then the labor, I'm not sure exactly how much he would have charged for just the wall, because we got the wall and some other things around the house done. I'm just gonna say for this he charged between $200 and $400, and then $125 was the material. Okay, so next let's talk about the upstairs bathroom that we transformed from a tub shower combination into a shower. Now I said I wanted to get a shower instead of a tub for my son, or for the guests also, because I just didn't want to clean up after. I have an 11-year-old son. I didn't want to clean up after him. You know, boys and men are dirty, and they, well, some females dirty too, but men and boys are definitely a little more dirtier than females, I would say. So I didn't want to, I was going to be the only one cleaning up the tub. I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just get this out and let's just make this a shower, because it's going to be easier for me to clean. And that's what we did. So he ended up having to gut. Okay, so let's just say we closed on the house Friday. He came and looked at it Friday, but he started gutting it Monday. So that whole process took only about a week and a half or 2 weeks before he was done. He did everything by himself except the plumbing. So basically he tore out the shower, the tub, and I'll insert somewhere on the screen where I'll have footage of how it was, the steps that he took in the process. So he ended up gutting everything out, and then yeah, basically you can kind of see what happened after that. So then the materials for that, I also went to Home Depot, and I'm gonna show you exactly the materials I ended up getting for that. I picked out the design myself. So at the time that I went to get it, the tile, we got the 12 by 24 inch porcelain tiles. They were $1.99 per tile, but we ended up getting the they come, I don't know how many come in the pack, but I'll put it on the screen. But we ended up having to get a few, maybe 8 boxes. I'm gonna say maybe we got 8 boxes. I'm not sure. Let's just say 8. Let's just say we got 8 boxes, and the one box was $31.99. So we ended up paying around $255 for just the wall tile. Now we did also get separate tile for the floor, and then I'll post that tile up here also. But when I went and got the tile, it was actually let me see, the floor tile was $6.99, and it was $6.99 per square, and it's not that many squares. We ended up having to get about 24 squares to complete the floor. So this is the tile we ended up getting. It's a herringbone pattern, so I wanted that on the floor, and it was $6.99. So let's just say we got about, was it 24? I want to say we did get about 24, and that came out to be around $168. So for the floor tile was like $168, then plus the wall tile was like $255. We ended up spending about $422 for just the tile. And then we also had to get the mortar, and we had to get some grout. Now I'm not exactly sure how much those bags of mortar cost, but I think they were around $30 or $40. Plus we had to get a bag of that grout, and I'll insert a picture of the grout we got. Also, we got the platinum grout, and that was $14.99, $14.98 a bag. So let's just say we spent, I'm lost with numbers right now. Let's just say we spent on grout and mortar, we spent about, let's just say we spent $80. So $80 plus $255, that's around $502. Now I know I spent like at least $550, so I'm gonna say, well, actually the bill came up to be around $600, but I ended up applying for a Home Depot credit card, and I got $50 off right there, so it ended up being around $576, I believe, for everything, material for the shower. Now that doesn't include like the shower tool or the shower door. I mean, the, you know, the water, the knob thing, the thing you turn on the water with, it doesn't include that, and it doesn't include the shower door. I bought that separately. So all of the materials for the shower door, I mean the shower and this wall, came from Home Depot. Now, like I said, if you're interested in getting that look, these items, the tile that we use is actually half price off. The long 12 by 24 tiles are 99 cents right now, and the box that we paid $31 for is now like $15. So you better go get that if you're interested. And also the herringbone pattern, we paid $6.99 per sheet, one little sheet, square sheet, and right now it's half off, it's $3.99. so if you're interested, I mean, it's not even $3.99, it's $3.50. So if you're interested, I would definitely go get those items right now. So altogether, let's just say the materials for the upstairs shower with my discount from Home Depot, it was like $576 material. Now, the shower door, I'll insert that up there. I got that from Wayfair. I ordered it on Wayfair Professional, and I ended up getting a discount. This was before the little scandal with the names came out with Wayfair, but I did get that shower door. That shower door was around $500. So altogether, we paid about, with like the hardware, miscellaneous stuff, we paid about $1,200 for the materials, between $1,000 and $1,200 for the materials for the actual shower. And then for the labor, he charged us $1,500. So I felt like that was a pretty good, I didn't really compare any rates with anyone else, but I felt like it was reasonable. So altogether, for him to rip out that entire shower and to do all that and transform it into just a walk-in shower with materials, it was, yeah, around $2,500. I'm gonna say $2,500 to $2,700, wherever those numbers are. It's just a roundabout to give you an idea if you're interested of doing something like that. That's a reasonable price for me, that I would say, you know, okay, yeah, I'm willing to pay that much for that work to be done. So yeah, so I talked about the wall, I talked about the shower, and I showed you everything. So basically now I'm just gonna sit here and kind of tell you exactly, excuse me, I'm gonna just tell you exactly what made us get a townhouse instead of a traditional house. So this is our second time moving this year. I actually sold my first house around March because I wanted to get into real estate investing. So I wanted that capital from selling my home to be able to invest. So we ended up going into apartment. From the original house, we went to apartment, and then we stayed there for about 2 months. We didn't have any plans on moving out as early as we did from the apartment. However, you know, I was kind of just like looking on realtor.com because I like looking at houses and I was interested in buying real estate. So I was just kind of looking on there, and I happened to see this place, and I kind of just fell in love with it. and then we came and checked it out, and that's just how things went. It was a blessing. We weren't planning on it or whatever. So yeah, the reason why so originally I wanted to move out of my house because I just loved the apartment. Like I missed the living in an apartment lifestyle. I wanted to be able to not have a yard. I wanted to be able to just not have to deal with anything that comes with the house. I just wanted to just, you know, have my little cozy apartment. So that's why we moved into an apartment. That really didn't work out too well because we kept getting noise complaints. Even though we weren't being noisy, we were actually just walking around. We were getting noise complaints from our neighbors downstairs because the floors were so thin they could hear us walking around, and I guess they thought we were just stomping around, but we weren't. So we kind of found out that that wasn't really for us, because we really weren't for people coming up to our apartment complaining, you know, and sending emails to the landlord or whatever. So I wanted to live the apartment lifestyle with no yard, but I wanted it to be mine. And that's exactly why we ended up getting this townhouse. So basically we have a neighbor, their house is adjoined to a wall in our house. It's just the structure. We have no yard in between. That's what makes this different from a a traditional house. So we basically share a wall. We don't hear what's going on over there. They don't hear what's going on over here. We don't have any kind of interaction beyond going outside if I was to see them like your regular neighbors at a regular house. Okay. So that's the only difference between a townhouse and a traditional house, is that adjoining wall. So in this particular, so yeah, my battery died, but what was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, and the thing that sold us about this particular townhouse is that in this area our HOA takes care of our grass and takes care of our flower bed, so we don't have to do any yard work. And you know, that's what I hated. I hated having, when I was in my old house, I hated having to come home and the grass would be needing to be cut. You know, I wouldn't have to cut it, but the fact that it would just, I didn't want to have to, you know, be like, you know, come cut this grass or cut the grass, or the flower bed having weeds. I just didn't want to deal with that type of stuff. So when we didn't have to, the fact that we don't have to do any yard work here, they come, I think they come every week like clockwork, and they cut our grass and they do the weeds, they do the gardening and everything, and we don't have to even worry about it. We do have to pay for it because it's in our HOA, but we don't have to worry about setting nothing up. They come do it themselves, you know. I think I covered everything. I told you about the wall, I told you about the upstairs shower. So if you have any questions or anything you want to ask, just comment below. Don't forget to like the video, and then don't forget to subscribe, and also follow me at __JLane on Instagram.